Hey, happy Love Day, happy Valentine's Day. I wanted to share a message with you regarding Valentine's Day. Although it's really about a message that I hope you'll carry with you throughout your life. I think often, sometimes whether you're single, whether you're in a relationship or not, sometimes I think it's an important message. It's about loving yourself. And I believe the most important thing you can do on Valentine's Day, but not only on Valentine's Day, but on every day. I believe every day is Love Day, but still, it's every day. You want to make sure that you are loving yourself. You are taking care of yourself. I think often, especially in sometimes when we are in relationships, we tend to focus on our partner mostly, or even it's even harder when then we have a family of our own because especially women tend to us women we tend to just keep giving and giving and we're not taking care of ourselves enough. So I really wanted to share that, I hope tomorrow I recommend that you take some time for yourself, that you do something for you. I know if you have a family or if you are in a relationship now, it might be hard, but try to find, even if it's for a few minutes or something, just to, write yourself a happy Valentine's Day love letter, or, take some time and meditate, go for a walk, whatever it is, because I have to say myself, there's been times where, and I was in a relationship where I did not do that. I mean, I would do something, I wasn't into big things, so I would do something small, something nice with my partner, but I didn't take the time to do something for me. And I've learned through my self love journey to take care of me on a regular basis. Yeah, sometimes I fall off the wagon, which is normal, and we're all human. But every year for Valentine's Day, my birthday, like in sometimes just out of the blue, I write myself a love letter. I do things that, that really that I would want somebody to do for me. I do it for myself because I know that the most important relationship is the relationship with myself. And it's the foundation for all other relationships. And unfortunately, nowadays, well, maybe even for the longest time, most relationships, people are looking for somebody to fill that void for them. Which people are looking for somebody to show them that they're good enough. I know that was my case for a long time. We're looking for somebody to fill that void, and that's why many of us are not, even when we're in relationships, we're not happy. We're happy for a few months, a few weeks, sometimes even a few years, but after a while we're unhappy because we're looking for somebody else to take care, to make us feel good. And that's where self-love comes. I remember I may have done a scope on it. I don't know if I shared it with you guys, but I remember I had an aha moment a few months ago where I thought, loving myself helps me get others off the hook. And I know some of us, like, we love, keeping people on, like blaming them or something. And, which is not healthy. And obviously we all have responsibility in our lives. We all have responsibility when something goes off between, especially, with two people or more. Each person has their own responsibility. But this is the thing. I've learned that when I take the time to love me, when I take care of me, I get in relationships with, and I love people in my life unconditionally. I don't get hung up when they're having a bad day. I don't stay hung up because I'm not looking for them to make me feel good. And that's what happens in many relationships. I know for myself, I remember being in a relationship once. It was one of those like really intense in the beginning relationships. And when my partner started pulling back, he was going through some stuff. I then was freaking out. I was like, wait a minute, I was put on a pedestal. And what the Course in Miracles calls, I was in the special relationship. It was, I was like an idol for him. I remember he used to say I'm perfect. And when I wasn't getting, it was filling up my ego. That is ego. And that's happening in many relationships, if not most currently. But you know, whenever that, my ego wasn't being taken care of, wasn't being boosted up, I would be like, I was freaking out. I was pulled back. I would want to be like, what the hell is going on? I'm no longer perfect. I'm no longer the queen. I was looking for him to fill it up for me. And him as well, I remember once we were talking and he said, I am so happy when I'm with you. It scared me because I felt like, wow, that's a big burden on me. That means I have to show up perfect. That means I have to be, because that's another thing that happens in this relationship, is that we don't feel we don't have a safe space to show up as ourselves, which is one day, yeah, we might show up as perfect, but one day we'll show up with all of our flaws and weaknesses and faults. So, so we were both feeling, wanting each other to fill that void for us. We were not filling up our own cup. So that's why it's so important, because when you love yourself, you really show up in your relationships genuine. You give out the love without expecting it back. You love unconditionally. So that's why I think it's so important to love ourselves, because that's when we can truly love other people. And the relationship with us is the most important relationship. That's the one that is never going to, end. You're never going to leave yourself. And the way you leave yourself is when you don't take care of you. So I really wanted to really share this with you. I want you to take care of you, to choose you, and to love you. Tomorrow, today, every day is love day. And don't forget, take care of you, love you, because that's when you can then show up in your relationships as the true and the real love and light that you are. Happy Love Day again. Take care. Have a great weekend. And I'm going to be sharing something for those of us who are single. I am single this year. I am not in a relationship. Who are wondering, well, what about all these people who have relationships or something? There's this great article that I read many years ago, and I have to say, I often share it with other people. I share it on my social media page on Valentine's Day, and I read it quite often whenever I feel like, okay, where is he? So take care of you, love and light. Thanks for listening to me.